Harry Potter isn't the biggest nepo baby on
Harry
the planet.
Potter
Are you
was
joking?
he was like a known nepo baby. I thought you were giving me the backstory. I didn't realize this was your story.
Are you joking? Are you thick? Old.
Katie, I don't think you understand how
you.
genius this is.
Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to ASI.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I think I'm looking here.
Yeah.
We are at the podcast show.
We're at the podcast show, jumping around from set to set, studio to studio at this point.
Booked and busy.
So booked and busy, but so excited to be here. This space is so gorgeous, courtesy of Spiritland Productions. But today we've got a very fun episode.
We do, but before we get into it, I do just want to say a couple of things about the show.
Of course.
I feel like while we're here,
Yeah.
it would be rude not to. We featured on our first podcast yesterday
On our yeah, of
as
course.
a guest.
Yeah.
In this very room.
Yeah. It was
Creator
the
Hub.
Creator Hub podcast. It was really good.
Really good. I won't say too much because I don't want to give it away.
No, you have to go check it out.
But we were so insightful.
So insightful. We were kind of talking about everything to do with the podcasting industry, kind of also what we spoke about on our panel, like in terms of creating a niche, our journey. So if you haven't been following us since maybe our earlier seasons, you wouldn't know how we got started and our journey to where we are now.
And then
what else?
we did a panel.
We did a panel.
Yeah.
That was really fun. The way we thought no one was going to come.
We did it. We assumed it would be preaching to the
three
the
people.
empty room. We thought it would be our camera.
Yeah.
And that was it. But it was a full house.
It was
I'd
a
say.
full house.
We put some pictures on social.
Yeah,
media.
go check it out at As Seen in Podcast if you don't follow us already. It was actually really good. We spoke about how to find your niche in podcasting and whether or not you should. One thing I'll actually say that I thought about this morning whilst we were in a panel was I love how when you're here, everyone's just so open to learning from everyone.
Yeah.
Because one of my main points of anxiety was that people would come in, see that we're in our early 20s and be like, what do these girls have to offer? But look, there were people all ages, really diverse crowd. And I was like, okay, no, this is good. This man even asked us a question.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh, that's rare.
it was just
rare.
really nice. It was a nice environment.
People stayed back after.
Yeah.
Honestly, they were shooing us out. We were just hot topic.
Sorry,
Hot
guys.
topic.
Sorry. We have to get out.
Can't please them all. We had a great time.
Such a great time. We'll probably post some highlights on our stories and reels and TikToks and stuff.
Yeah.
But what are we doing today, Katie?
Okay, so I think it would be inauthentic to come to the podcast show and then not do just a regular episode of I've Seen It, right? We have to stick with what we know.
Exactly.
And something we know and love well is the film and TV space.
Of course.
And we're back with another creative episode.
Yeah, we're putting our writer hats back on.
Back on.
We've done a lot of, casting.
Yeah.
Recasting, I guess.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be creating more sequels, predicting more sequels, spin-off, that type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we say which ones we're doing first?
As always, I'm not underprepared, but I will say I always focus more on the ones that I get into, and some of them I just can't find the energy to develop.
Some of them as well, I think we made not a mistake, but we gave ourselves a challenge in the sense that, for example, one of our ones that we decided to do is like a Harry Potter spin-off, when Harry Potter is probably the most developed franchise and story in the world.
Yeah.
So it's like anything we even try to suggest as a spin-off, someone is going to have, oh no, but in this happened, like with Marvel.
Yeah.
It's like trying to do a Marvel spin-off.
Just wouldn't even try.
It's like JK literally wrote a whole universe.
And I was thinking about it as well, and I was like, oh, this. And then I was like, I've literally watched Cursed Child.
Exactly.
And I was like, that is the next step.
Exactly.
So I had to just,
I kind of went a bit rogue with that one, but we're going to do a Harry Potter spin-off, a Camp Rock 3.
Okay.
Bridgerton
These are where
3.
I think I'm shining.
Okay. And then a Queen Charlotte spin-off
also
type
shining,
of thing. I think my biggest and best one is my Bridgerton season 3.
Me too, but because I wrote that one a while ago.
Yeah, me too.
Because we had this episode planned a while ago, and then we ended up
we just didn't have
switched
time.
it or something.
Yeah,
and I was like, no, this has to be a full thing. So
exactly.
my Bridgerton one I think is good.
I think my Harry Potter spin-off could be something. It's nothing I'd be like, guys, let's get in a meeting right now and figure this out. Like we did an episode before where I think it was a High School Musical 4, Well, I was literally ready to find a Disney contact.
Oh no, I was like, this is good. I had pregnancies. I had queer characters. I had everything. Literally everything you could ever want.
Exactly.
Is in my High School Musical 4. So
I feel
Kenny
like-
Ortega.
Exactly. And I feel like my Camp Rock 3, I mean, it's Disney. It doesn't really need to be that complex. I think I have 3 solid like story points that could potentially be something.
I barely even remembered what happened in Camp Rock 2.
Oh, yeah.
And we only decided this last night, so I wasn't going to watch it.
No. But I think, as I said, like you could literally, I feel like the whole movie can be summarized in maybe 2-3 sentences.
It is a simple,
There's a camp, there's a second rival camp. They don't like each other. They battle it out. They like each other.
Battle of the Bands. It was classic.
That's it. It's just Battle of the Bands.
Okay.
Okay, let's do a short one first. So let's start with Harry Potter.
Sure. My whole premise of this was just, I wanted it to circle back to Hermione's parents, who are muggles, right? They are, they have no idea about the magic world.
Yeah.
And, you know, they have this very minimal place in the story, in my opinion.
Okay.
And again, I haven't read the books in years, so do not come for me. I don't care. If there's something I actually don't care.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to circle back to them actually lying about that and having some higher power.
Wait, they lied about what?
About being muggles. So they've always been in the magic world.
So how did they pretend they were magicians or witches and wizards? Sorry.
Well, we barely even see her parents, right? You saying that you don't think any magic could cover up a secret? People pretend that they're not magic all the time.
Yeah, people pretend they're not magic by using their magic. So how can they, muggles, pretend that they're magic?
They're not actually muggles.
Right, now I understand. So why was it this whole thing that they were muggles?
I think that they're like the Ministry of Magic, like the... Hi.
So like they're the wizards.
I think they're the wizards.
So Hermione...
I always wondered this, right? And again, don't come for me because I know the books probably do say, but Hermione just watched. So you're telling me this 8-year-old just got a letter in the post.
Yeah.
That her parents didn't see because of the magic.
Yeah.
Saying she was magic.
That's what I thought.
And she just fucked off to this school.
I genuinely thought like, oh wow, that was like a miracle. Like that she was born.
Because they weren't.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Now because this whole time I was like, that's crazy that you can just like be. That's why I thought I could be a wizard type vibe. Like that. Do you know what I mean? Like
you
growing up,
you can.
I was like, oh, but if Hermione could just be a witch, surely we can all be. That's like the whole USP of like Harry Potter world and everyone waiting for their letters.
But it's not like that, unfortunately. It actually isn't like that. And Hermione, she had parents that actually did know. So.
It's giving Nepo baby.
Yeah, she is a Nepo baby.
Like a secret Nepo baby, though.
Harry Potter isn't the biggest Nepo baby on the planet.
Potter was
joking?
He was like a known Nepo baby. Because everyone was like, oh, of course, you're literally Potter. But she was like a secret one.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah. But like,
yeah,
she didn't want people to know she was a Nepo baby type vibes.
Because she didn't know.
Oh, she didn't know either.
She doesn't know her parents are controlling it all. No.
Oh, okay.
She thinks she's
obviously.
This is a really developed idea.
Okay.
In my head.
Wait. You've made this idea up.
What do you mean? Are we not making our own? What are you talking about?
Explaining the original Harry Potter to me, like the premise of Harry Potter. I thought you were giving me the backstory. I didn't realize this was your story. So, she actually is a muggle.
Are you joking?
Parents are actually. Can we just let's just establish this? In the
parents are muggles in the story.
Harry Potter.
Hence why I keep saying there's flaws. I've got loopholes because it's probably all.
So you're
off. What's yours? What's your stupid story?
I was literally in my head thinking we need to get onto our remakes because we're running out.
No.
Okay, fine. So that's really good.
Thank you. I was wondering where the energy was. I was like, why is she so disappointed?
I wasn't disappointed. I was just like, I've missed like this whole franchise is such a big part of my life and I've missed this whole plot. So that's where my confusion was. But that's a really good story.
And make sure you just tell me whether it's actually real or if it's your right.
So mine is real. It focuses on the Weasley twins. Yeah. 2 of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
I feel like they're like underrepresented in the whole series. So just following them like after they're born, their family life, navigating twins, and the mischief they cause as twins that leads them to getting into Hogwarts. So kind of like a mini backstory, not like the whole movie. And then how they gain their reputation as pranksters. And I'm wanting the movie mainly to focus on the Marauders map.
Oh yeah,
and everything that was going on with it, how they discovered it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a direct follow along their Hogwarts journey. So not like a before Soli or an after Soli. It's like,
Right.
what were they doing in their common rooms?
Yeah,
Like the
I
Goblet of
think so.
Fire, we didn't really see. I feel like that was when they were at their peak and we didn't really see much of them.
Yeah.
So mine would just be like just following them closer throughout their journey through Hogwarts, heavily focusing on the Marauders map and all those side characters, because then you have Sirius and all of those guys.
I think if I wasn't going to be doing a rewrite, someone's already written, I don't know if it's called fan fiction because it's a full-on like novel called The Marauders about when like James, Lily, Snape and Sirius and Peter. God, I'm actually really smart. I didn't know I knew it that well when they were all at school. I haven't read it either. I just know that it exists. So someone's written about when they were at school, like a prequel vibe.
Okay.
And because people fan cast it, you know, like we recast things, people have like fan casted if that was going to be made, who they would want as the people.
Who did they put? Do you remember any names?
I think Ben Barnes was in there somewhere. Again, God actually knows. But then there was something recently, because I can't remember who Sirius, I can't remember. I'll have to find it. But yeah, it's been like a full-on thing that people agree on.
Interesting.
So I don't want to put my 2 cents in too far.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. Okay. Let's move on. Should we do one of the Bridgertons? Because we shouldn't do them both in the same order. Which one should we do first? Should we do you?
I think Bridgerton, because I've been itching to tell this story for so long.
Go ahead.
All right. I need to find it in my notes. Here we go. So, okay. So where we left off at the end of season 2, what we actually left off on, just to clarify, this is real.
Okay,
we found out.
Apparently I'm
thick.
thick.
You're thick.
Literally.
So Penelope is Bridgerton. Eloise knows.
Yeah.
Not Bridgerton. Oh my God. Lady Whistledown. The scandalous gossip of the Regency era. So she leaves London because Eloise tells everyone that she is Whistledown. So Eloise, I'm not going to lie, I know you're upset, but that was snaky. This is real now. This is now my story.
Okay.
So Eloise tells everyone. And the Featheringtons disown Penelope. Because, well, she's been writing about them for years now, you know?
It's giving Gossip Girl.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And she's left to sort of like find her own way. So she takes a horse and cart. You know how she does at the end of the episode when we find out she's Whistledown?
Yeah.
And she sort of starts this treacherous journey up north. So I think we land in Manchester. I don't know how long it would take by horse and cart. Probably a while. Actually, probably quite a while.
But they always just time jump, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
They'll be like, we've been on this carriage for 6 days.
Yeah, like, I've just come in from Germany. Yeah, looking pristine. Yeah.
You know?
So she's in Manchester now. And she has no family or anything, so she's sort of forced to work like manual labour. Almost like the printers did when they were printing Whistledown. So it's kind of like a full circle karma moment. She's now working, whatever. Back in London, Eloise starts to feel really guilty.
Okay.
Because she's just told everyone, and now Penelope's disappeared.
Yeah.
And she's like, actually, this is my friend, and I should have heard her out.
Yeah.
So she's starting to see why Penelope actually did create Whistledown, because everyone in the town and in the town are treating her badly. She's kind of already, especially Penelope, she was definitely an odd one out, right? We don't get the same energy towards her as we do to like the diamonds of the season, if you will.
Of course.
So I think before Penelope leaves, she leaves one last Lady Whistledown paper, and she kind of leaves clues where she's going, just in case anyone did want to find her. So she's dropping so many hints that she's off to Manchester.
So many hints.
And you're still not getting it. But eventually they figure out she's in Manchester. This is like a part of the season, whatever.
Okay.
So then Eloise is like, right, we got to gain a troop now that's going to follow and find her in Manchester. Oh, phones don't exist.
No.
Can't just text her.
No.
We don't know where she is.
Yeah.
Don't even know if she's in Manchester. They're going on this thing. So anyway, I think she's going to muster up a group of them. Maybe Anthony and Kate. I feel like they'd be down. Just like a little group.
Especially Kate.
Come on.
Yeah.
And maybe even Edwina, you know, something to do now. She's not got a man. I don't know.
Facts.
And they all make this journey to Manchester. Okay. And then they get there. And obviously they have no idea where she is. So they all start working like the manual labour life. So we see Anthony, we see Kate, we see all of them. They've dropped their
status.
Jewels.
Yeah.
They're down, they're working, whatever. They have to make money. They eventually find Penelope, and they have no means of getting back to London because the horses and carts aren't going to wait.
Okay,
they've gone. They're now stranded. They're not rich enough they don't have a status anymore.
Yeah.
So they all start working, and then they actually start messing around with the rich people in Manchester, and start printing their own version of Whistledown to make money to get back to London.
Really cool.
Yeah. So then the new Bridgertons of Manchester would be a different group of royals.
Yeah.
So we're following them, and then we're seeing our Bridgertons as like manual labourers.
And then it could be a whole spin-off from the Manchester like whole season.
'Cause
Yeah.
in my head it's flawed because I feel like family to family, they know who in the country is.
Yeah.
So it would be like, oh, why is Anthony Bridgerton
But
here looking like a
they
poor
might not know
boy?
in the same way that we know now
Yeah.
because of the lack of social media and phones and
Exactly.
stuff. Like some people, it would be far removed from quite a lot of people. So
Yeah.
I think that
Thank
checks
you.
out.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, really good.
Would you
Okay.
watch?
Yeah, 100%. I watch anything Bridgerton, and that story is actually good.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I'm ready for yours. Give it to me.
Whoa! We are interrupting this broadcast.
Guys, if you're enjoying this episode, please make sure to subscribe and drop us a comment.
And also check us out on audio platforms and give us a rate because it really helps us out.
Back to the episode.
Bye.
I haven't actually read mine in a minute.
That's the thing.
So this is new to me.
I had notes in it that were like codes for myself.
Yeah.
And I was reading it and I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? I don't know. So I had to rewrite some of it.
Okay, so we know it's based on Penelope, so
Yeah.
I ran with that, apparently. So Colin is having a secret affair with Eloise.
His sister, Tati. Are you fucking... How? Yeah. Are you joking? His sister?
Okay, so I forgot that they were related. So now my whole
So
story
he's shagging his sister. Yeah.
my
Yeah.
whole story is falling apart. In my version, they're not related.
Right. So not Bridgertons. The name of the show.
They're
Yeah.
Bridgertons.
Yeah.
He's a step sibling.
Okay. That's still
That's still quite
kind of
bad.
mm,
Okay, they're not related.
Well,
He's a third cousin. Okay, they're just not related. Eloise isn't a Bridgerton.
okay.
Eloise is just Penelope's really, really good friend.
Yeah.
Okay? They're friends. So, Colin is having a secret affair with Eloise. He's falling for her, but Eloise is only going along with it to get back at Penelope because she's found out about Penelope. She's mad.
Yeah.
She's like, I
Yeah.
need some revenge here. Okay?
So I'm going to shag my brother. Yeah.
No.
I always think that.
In
No,
this-
I think that.
Huh?
I always think that.
You think what?
Oh, if I'm feeling annoyed at someone, I'll just shag my brother.
I don't like you.
Okay, carry on. Sorry.
I don't like
Seriously,
you.
carry on so much.
So Penelope catches Colin going out, getting ready, but she doesn't
Yeah.
know who with. So she's like,
Right.
okay. And then Eloise confronts Penelope about being Lady Featherington. Featherington?
Mhm.
Is that her?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so
Correct.
she confronts Penelope
Yeah.
about being Lady Featherington and threatens to call the police, being like, I
No,
know.
Lady Whistledown. Sorry,
Whistledown?
her name is Penelope Featherington.
Yes.
Lady Featherington.
So Lady Whistledown and threatens to call the police and is
Right.
like, come on now. Like, I know who you are. This is really bad. Just tell me and then we can move forward with this. I'll help you even. Penelope's still not giving up. So she denies it. And she's then paranoid about what Eloise is going to do because it's like, is she going to call the police? Is she not? Blah, blah, blah. So Eloise does end up following through, reporting Penelope to the police as being Lady Whistledown. And just as Penelope and Colin are about to get married, because Colin and Penelope still, like, this is a whole secret thing with Eloise.
The affair is still secret.
It's a very much secret affair.
Secret sibling affair.
Not siblings
Not
in this
sibling,
version.
Friends.
Friends. Really good friends.
Really good friends, yeah.
So the marriage is happening.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So just as Penelope and Colin are about to get married, they're at the altar. The police bursts in
Ooh.
and arrests her, kind of like Ginny and...
Yeah, Ginny and Georgia.
I was about to...
No, that's real when Georgia gets arrested.
I didn't know if you'd seen it.
I have.
So I was like, have I just
Yeah,
ruined
no,
this?
yeah.
So yeah, kind of Ginny and Georgia style, but I
Yeah.
wrote this before I watched Ginny and Georgia, I'm pretty sure. I'm probably lying, right?
Probably, because you lie, clearly.
No.
Quite a bit.
No, but this might have come out before this. We probably planned this before.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd like to think I came up with this
Yeah.
before seeing that.
Yeah.
So anyway, obviously we know Eloise, the good friend,
Mm-hmm.
was secretly in love with Colin also. And it turns out, why did I write? It turns out they had a mini affair before, but no one knew. Like, we've been knowing this. I literally said this.
First plot point you
This
gave
is
me.
the first plot
Yeah.
point. So yeah, the police comes in. Colin starts to apologize, thinking that they were coming after him for having this secret affair.
Oh.
So he was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. Like I didn't mean to like be not a gentleman because you know how they take
Yeah, I am a
that like
gentleman.
that seriously.
Yeah.
Then obviously an
Yeah.
affair is serious, but like in
Yeah.
that time it was also like now you can't get married and all of this.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't like.
So he
I didn't-
admits it without even.
He admits to
Okay.
having this affair. Because Eloise was also tormenting him,
Yeah.
saying that if you say anything,
Yeah.
like it's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. So Penelope was confused because she was being taken away. Colin was like, why is she being taken away? She's like, why is he?
Really good.
You know, it's just a
You
lot
know
of,
what? It would have been so good if you hadn't written it as a.
as a sibling thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So there's a lot of confusion. Eloise then catches wind of Colin and, oh, do you know what I've done? I've put
What?
loads of asterisks in, being like, this explains this, which explains that. So I've given explanations to things, but I didn't read the explanation whilst I was telling you the thing. But anyway, it's fine. That's basically the whole story. Yeah.
I'd love to see a screenshot on screen of that note.
Well, the note is pretty.
Yeah.
Like it's just notes.
I love that you reread it and still didn't put two and two together. This was months ago. Months.
Well, I didn't like. I know in the back of my mind that they're all like in the same universe, right? But like I would have,
Obviously.
if you would have told me, if you wouldn't have mentioned they were
Yeah.
siblings, I
We-
would have read the whole thing and not batted
Wish
an
I
eyelid.
hadn't. And then gotten to the end and,
And
been like,
everyone in
so?
the comments could be like,
Yeah.
Tatty,
Thick. Okay, I like it though.
thanks.
If they had a character introduced in Bridgerton that wasn't, like maybe if
Just
it was
a
like
secret.
Cressida Cowper
So really,
or
all I
something.
did, I could have just said Colin had a secret affair.
with a friend of Penelope's.
Yeah. And the police came, they both
Yeah.
owned up to it, and they were like, huh? And that's it.
Real.
3 seconds.
I actually have a feeling they're going to do something like that.
I hope so.
3. I feel like it's going to be a bit scandalous.
Because what else? I mean, I haven't read the books.
No.
But I'm sure in the books there needs to be a turning
Yeah.
point where it's like there's a scandal they remake.
Yes.
Or make up.
Remake. So remake. What do you want to do next?
Do Camp Rock 3. Mine is
Mine's
literally
short.
could be
Short.
short.
Mine's short.
Yeah, mine could literally be summarized in 3 plot points.
Perfect. Off you go.
But you go first because I just feel like I've been
Mine
talking for a
was-
long time.
No, I enjoyed every second.
Thanks so
Mine
much.
was just either going to be a prequel to Camp Rock, so how the
Ooh.
camp came about.
Ooh.
And I think it was going to include the British music guy.
Oh,
What's it-
yeah,
what's his
Axel
name?
Turner.
Axel Turner. And him at the
or
camp.
Rose or something.
Axel Rose. Who?
Yeah.
No, Axel Rose is...
Is he the real one?
He's a real... The kiss... Okay, that could be so many wrong things in one sentence, but it's not. I think Axel Turner's right.
Okay.
Him at the camp, or the classic, their kid at the camp.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Mitchie and
good.
Shane's
That's really good.
Nepo baby kid
Of
at the camp,
course,
getting
yeah.
bullied,
Yeah.
fucking punch him, mate. Yeah.
Disney would eat
Disney
this
would-
up.
There you
Okay.
go.
Mine was Mitchie and Shane start their own camp after
Ooh.
falling out with Axel. They call it Camp Soul.
Oh. Yeah. That's nice.
And then they recruit M. Dot from Camp Star. So we've got Camp Rock, Camp Star,
Yeah.
Camp Soul. And they like have him teach classes, kind of like how Shane was teaching those frontman classes. Tensions rise between Mitchie and Shane from working together, you know.
Yeah.
And then the old Camp Rock starts to then sabotage the new Camp
Sabotage.
Soul.
Sabotage. Yeah.
Sabotage the new Camp Soul, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just this ongoing battle, and then Axel suddenly dies
Oh.
out of
They
nowhere.
love a death.
They do
a
love
Disney
a death,
death.
right? And then Mitchie's mum, who still works with Axel because she has, you know, that's her like
She's still
stable.
doing the catering.
She's still doing the catering there. She loves it there. She's like, come on, guys, like this is silly now. Like we need to all band together, literally.
Yeah.
And then they have a final song.
I like it. So is it,
That's
there's
literally
3
it.
camps battling out?
No. Camp
No.
Star and Camp Rock reconciled at the end of
Oh,
Camp
they
Rock 2, remember?
merge.
They merge and they're
Yeah.
like, Axel, I'd really like to come back here this summer,
Yeah.
whatever it is. When Tess,
Yeah.
too cool. Do you remember?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was so ahead of the time.
So ahead of the time.
I like that.
So it was kind of like Camp Star, Camp Soul battling Camp Rock now. No?
No.
Camp- Yeah.
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 No.
Because they
Yeah.
took it. Camp Star was kind of split between Camp Rock and Camp Soul.
in your
In my
version.
in Camp Rock 3.
Yeah. CP3.
It could be called Camp
See-
Soul, a Camp Rock
CL3.
story.
Oh, just like Bridgerton.
Exactly.
You eating that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that.
So speaking of Queen
Yes,
Charlotte,
okay,
a Bridgerton
I'm
story.
happy about my story here.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's quite it's okay, this is actually such a little PSA. I actually don't want to hear, just like I said about Harry Potter, I do not care if you've read the books.
Okay.
I read the first one.
Yeah,
Right, that's enough.
that's fine.
It was it's only because I'm about to do something really wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. So just don't come at me with the facts. I just don't care.
Okay.
So my Queen Charlotte 2 is a Brimsley and Reynolds moment. It is.
Me too.
I feel like it would be wrong if it wasn't.
Exactly.
So we pick up after almost at the end of Queen Charlotte when they were young under the bed doing the not was it when they're saying
The
about the
moon and the
heavens and,
stars.
like under the bed.
Yeah.
So we pretty much pick up from there.
Yeah.
So we have their relationship from there, but we also see how they started their relationship.
Okay.
So it flicks around between them in those two sort of periods, whatever. So yeah, they started the affair when it was just very natural.
Yeah.
Because you know how before George was in power, it was whoever died.
Yeah.
So they always knew each other, hence why they were already in that sort of relationship. So they met, whatever, we see that happen. It was quite natural, it was cute, nothing too scandalous or strange. And then their relationship's okay for a while, but the king declines really quickly. And it puts a strain on their relationship.
Okay.
So Reynolds does end the relationship in fear that he can't give Brimsley the life that he deserves.
Reynolds ends
yeah,
it.
he does, but he does it fairly, well, they're still fairly young. So he doesn't end it. He doesn't want to, he's doing it because he thinks it's like a love. He's doing it because he thinks he's protecting.
So kind of like the king to Charlotte.
Yeah, exactly like that. So
Okay.
he's like, he's seen that play out. So he's like, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm doing whatever.
Okay.
So he does end it, but they still love each other, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So then, shortly after, we see a scene at maybe a ball or an event with the king and queen, because obviously he's still okay at times. And Violet Bridgerton Violet, what's her name? 'Cause
Violet.
She's not Bridgerton at this point.
Oh.
Violet, whatever, goes up to the king and queen and they start talking. And behind them is the two valets. So we've got Reynolds, we've got Brimsley. And there's this scene where we see Violet sort of giving Reynolds like a little something. And Reynolds is looking, you know how he looks very straightforward? He doesn't really make eye contact with anyone. But she's like trying to be all, "Woo." And he eventually looks and they make eye contact. And she's like giggles and runs away. So Brimsley notices and he's like, you know, he can't say anything. They've broken up. But he's aware. We're all aware at this point. So then fast forward, we see a scene where Violet asks to speak to Queen and King. So she's like, what, like 17?
To do what? Sorry,
Well,
you're going to tell me.
about to tell you.
I'm invested.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm
like, and then what?
So she asked me, the Queen and King, she says to them that she has a thing for Reynolds. She's like, who's the fit valet? Like, whatever. But I know that he's a valet. He's not a person of, he's not one of the people, is he? He's not one of the ton, whatever they're fucking called.
Yeah.
But she's like, I really like him and I want to go to a ball with him. I don't want him to be a valet. I want him to be treated as
us, yeah.
whatever. And Charlotte thinks about it and she's like, actually, I want to spend more time with George, so I'm happy to let Reynolds go because I want to spend all my time with George. I don't think he needs a footman anymore. I'm going to let him go. I'm going to let him go and marry Violet Bridgerton because she thinks she's doing Reynolds this massive favor of like building him into this life of luxury.
Yeah.
Obviously doesn't know he's gay and doesn't know that he's had this thing with Brimsley.
Yeah.
So they let Reynolds go thinking that this is an amazing thing because they're letting him go and marry Violet. So we find out that Reynolds' name is Edmund Reynold Bridgerton. That's what we find out. And we find out that is Edmund, who we obviously know and love today as Violet's husband and father of all of the Bridgerton children. But we know that Edmund dies by the bee sting in season 2.
Yes.
So Brimsley now has a special connection. And, well, obviously he was fuming, but I think that bit it's like they were never going to work. And he was like, I'd rather see him have a line of children than be with me forever. So then that's why Daphne is the diamond of the season in season 1. Because Brimsley's in the Queen's ear think, Daphne would be a great diamond because it's his lover's child.
Katie, I don't think you understand how genius this is.
Yeah.
You basically built out the whole...
Yeah.
And then linked it back into Bridgerton.
But
that's a Queen Charlotte spin-off that links into Bridgerton.
I am really fucking I'm clever,
That's
right?
so good.
But obviously we know that they're separate characters. Like they've been written. I don't care. It's my version.
I don't care. I think that's really. I think that's better. I mean, I haven't seen. I don't know what the original story is.
When Brimsley's dancing, Reynolds not there because it's Edmund who's died.
Yeah. God. Really good.
But that's how the Bridgerton line started.
That's
in my
really
eyes.
good. That's really good.
Thank you.
Mine is a lot less complex and built out. So that's good because we should wrap this up anyway. Okay,
So
so
good.
mine also is focusing on Brimsley and Reynolds because we just didn't get enough of them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what it's like to navigate being queer in that time period.
Yeah.
Because we kind of see how they deal with race and I guess like being a woman, being a man. So I'd be interested to see like how they deal with that then. And my focus was mainly on what happened at the end of Queen Charlotte. So obviously we know Reynolds isn't there, but I hear a lot of discourse online, people saying that he died, that's why he's not there. And I don't know if that's true. In my version, it's not true. It's so far from the truth.
It's not true.
It's so far from the truth. So in my version, he was transferred abroad, right?
Ooh.
So he could have been there to be with Brimsley, but he had to choose between the Queen and being abroad, basically. So let me
Wait, Reynolds.
Reynolds.
So the king.
No. Let me explain.
Okay.
So basically, the Queen found out, or the King's men, not the King, they found out that Reynolds was compromising the King's privacy by telling Brimsley things. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So they were like, we're gonna tell people if you either leave on your own accord or we're gonna tell everyone and you're gonna be in trouble, right? And you're gonna be blacklisted. You're never gonna be able to work in this country again. So he had to basically choose between like keeping the Queen happy or, keeping everything running orderly there or going away. Like, what was he meant to do? So he had to leave for the sake of their happiness.
That's sad.
So yeah, but Brimsley didn't know this.
Oh,
So Brimsley
no.
thought he left of it on his own accord without saying bye. And so he was still just as like heartbroken because obviously you still need to pull on the heartstrings.
No.
But at least we, the audience, kind of know that it wasn't because he died. It was because he was doing it for what was
Doing it
best
for
for
love.
them. He was doing it for love.
Why is it always for love? Just do something for YOLO. I don't care about love.
Just do something for
Just
YOLO.
break some rules. I don't know.
Yeah, so that was basically like my story arc. But
That's sad.
he can't die.
He can't.
I just don't accept that as... I think it's a cop-out
I think
of
that
a
might be a hate
ending.
crime.
I think it is a hate crime just as well because we didn't actually get to see their story enough.
Yeah.
I would understand more if it was like, okay, we fully explored this now. We've given them something. But it's like, you're going to give us this storyline, hint at it, maybe, and then just like not explore it anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like, one, the queer community deserves more than that.
Exactly.
In the Bridgerton universe. And two, it's just not good enough.
No.
Simply. You can't...
It's not. You can't not give us... Either give us the context we deserve.
Yeah.
Or shove up your ass.
Facts.
Yeah?
I completely agree.
Yes.
But yeah, that's basically it.
I'm sad either way because he dies or leaves either way.
Yeah, it's like Brimsley's still without him.
Yeah.
Which is still obviously very sad.
Yeah.
But at least it's like, you never know in the future. Like it leaves the door open for hopefully at some, like he might write a letter. He might try to get a message back. Brimsley might figure it out. He may have left some secret clues. Do you know what I mean? The Queen, like the King.
Oh, I just get sad thinking about it.
It's really
I
sad.
was thinking about the first time I saw it.
The first time, guys, I think we spoke about it in one of our recent episodes when we first saw the scene. It was
a hot mess.
It was a hot mess. It was traumatizing.
It was like midnight in our New York apartment.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was screeching.
It was really bad.
I was screech crying. I don't think that's even a thing. I think I might have invented a new form of crying.
It was like genuine shock.
God.
I don't think I've ever felt shock like that watching the show.
No.
Like, do you ever watch things and you physically gasp?
Yeah.
That was one of the first times I've actually done that.
Of course. You see me physically gasp at Queen Charlotte.
Yeah, no.
Episode 3.
Yeah, that. But like, I mean, other shows. Maybe Vampire Diaries is obviously one. But that was more like, I'm shocked to the point where I can't even express any emotion. I'm like paralyzed in fear.
And I think with Vampire Diaries it's different because you know the tone.
Exactly.
Throughout,
You expect.
But like, I don't know, this felt like a different vibe. I know it's obviously very Bridgerton-esque, but I just didn't know what they were doing at any point.
Yeah, I agree. Because Vampire Diaries is like, oh, these guys are just going through it every single day. But Bridgerton is like, oh, these are fun love stories. They may hit a bump in the road, which I thought they already did because they had an
Yeah.
argument or something.
Oh, that
They
was
had made
sad
up.
when their pinkies. Oh
Yeah.
no.
So they had their bump in the road. We don't need to add more. Even Charlotte and George didn't have like that big of a drastic ending.
No, they did. They had a nice ending.
They had
Why
a nice
did they get a
ending.
nice ending?
That's what I mean. Let's do some
Let's do some stuff.
Let's do some stuff. Let's do some more.
Let's do
So I
some
think we should talk to Shonda.
Yeah, I'll call her.
Yeah. You call her and
Oh, she's got a US number. I'll WhatsApp her.
That's the only thing
That is-
standing in our way.
honestly, that is all. I'll give her a Facebook DM.
Yeah. But guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. We really appreciate it. Make sure you check out all the content we're going to be posting from the podcast show. It's been a great few days.
It's been a great few days and we're still halfway through the last day, so
Yeah, we've still got
plenty of time.
a lot more to see and do. New people to speak to.
A lot more Shondas to speak to.
Of course,
So-
of course. We are going to head off to a panel now, so
Yeah.
we have to love you and leave you. But if you don't already, definitely make sure you check out our socials. Follow us everywhere at As Seen in Podcast. If you're listening, you can go watch us on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can go listen. Make sure to leave us a
yeah.
rating and all that fun stuff.
You've got the plug down to a T. I'll just say bye.
We'll say that now then.
We'll say that now. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
Bye.